In this video, we are going to see how we can change the coolant in our engine. In my case, it is a Renault Scenic IV with a 1.3 petrol engine. We will see how to drain, fill and bleed the cooling circuit. According to the Renault repair manual, the draining is done by opening the radiator drain plug. And you also have to disconnect its lower hose or pipe. Then, you have to help the draining by blowing pressurized air through the tank. Depending on the engine and the vehicle, in order to reach the lower part of the radiator, it is necessary to remove the lower engine cover, the front left wheel arch or even the bumper. In this video I am not going to disassemble it. I will carry out the draining by removing the hoses, but from the upper part. Depending on what is easier for us, we can disconnect from the engine side or from the radiator side. In this case, as it is a Scenic, the upper hose on the radiator side is not easily accessible. So I prefer to disconnect from the engine side. We can also disconnect the hose from the thermostat side. But in this case, this engine has a thermostat with a less robust design. I prefer not to touch it, not to apply force on it, since it may risk weakening and breaking. In another video I will talk more about this thermostat. Renault and Dacia recommend the new Glaceol RX Type E fluid. It is easily identified by its dark blue color. This new fluid is suitable for all engines, except for 3-cylinder engines without turbo, B4A and B4D. Renault recommends its change generally every 150,000 kilometers, or every 6 years. This period may be different depending on the engine, vehicle and country. The previous Glaceol RX Type D coolant with neon yellow color is no longer used since December 1, 2023 due to European regulations. Both liquids are compatible with each other, they can be mixed. We can remove the hose clamp with a pair of clamp pliers. There is a flexible version for places where it is more difficult to access. We open the clamp, and we pull hard on the hose so that it comes off. We remove the cap from the tank so that the liquid can come out. To drain the fluid from the engine and the radiator, we need to blow pressurized air into the tank. I am going to use an electric blower. This hose in the tank connects to the radiator. I disconnect it and I can finish draining the liquid that is still inside. Now we have to blow into the hose. We can plug it so that there is more pressure. Once it is drained, we put the hose back in place. Before filling the tank, we remove the bleeder caps so that the air comes out of the circuit. The bleeders can be found in different places depending on the engine. Generally, in the thermostat, in the heater hose behind the engine, in the upper hose of the engine, and in some engines, in the hose that connects to the tank. We let the liquid drain until we see that it comes out continuously. We put the cap back on. We fill up to the maximum level indicated on the tank. Its cap has a safety valve, which in case of overpressure will let the liquid out. After filling and bleeding, we can clean the engine of any remaining coolant. There is a sticker that tells us not to pour water into the engine. The engine can be washed, but be careful not to pour water into the control unit or the fuse box, and above all, it must be dried very well afterwards. We start the engine. We turn off the ventilation and let it idle until it warms up. When we open the thermostat, the already hot liquid enters the radiator. In this case, when it is wet, water vapor appears, which will gradually disappear. The normal operating temperature of this gasoline engine is 98 to 108 degrees Celsius. This corresponds to when the indicator on the instrument panel reaches its halfway point. This is when the fan starts working. Renault indicates that it must be allowed to run at least twice. We check that there are no leaks and that the level is correct. I turn off the engine. I only have to turn off the inspection light. This is achieved by resetting the instrument panel. When we drive, we must monitor the temperature to confirm that everything is correct. Once the engine is cold, we check the level again. It is possible that we find the level a little low. The circuit has been restored and may need more liquid. In that case, we add it up to its maximum level.